Welcome to another edition of the Red Zone podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Pointier, and today we have another edition of CFL Tiers after week 5. A lot of movement here, including a new top spot and a new bottom spot. And we start with the bottom of the tiers. We have the Ottawa Redblacks being the new basement dwellers this week. And I said 2 weeks for the season? Could it be? I mean, could this be their season? Right? A back to back against the Tiger Cats, who have been just tremendous on offense. Bo Levi Mitchell and Kenny Lawler putting up video game numbers. And Ottawa's defense has been struggling. So this game does not favor the Red Blacks. But Drew Brown, luckily, he's been pretty good. This first game back from injury, he didn't throw an interception. His stats were pretty good, but it came in a loss. He has been injured for the last 3 weeks before this. So they're trying to get their season back on track. And this is the way that you could do it, is to win both of these games against Hamilton, at least one of them. But with how Hamilton has been playing and how the Red Blacks defense has been playing, it could definitely be a rough game for the Red Blacks. So we'll just have to wait and see how they fare. Let's get to the next tier now, and we have Hello Offense. Yeah, the Argos and the Elks, both of these teams putting up a bunch of points, 35 plus points. For the Argos, they put up 38 in a loss, unfortunately, to the aforementioned Tiger Cats, who put up 51. And for the Argos, you just can't go score for score. They are not a team that's built to do that, even though they kind of did that in the fourth quarter. It was just too little too late. Nick Arbuckle, he had himself a pretty good day, 27 of 38 passing, 339 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not too shabby. The running game, yeah, that still needs to get going a little bit. 8 for 22 for Kevin Brown, just not good enough in that category. And then the receivers, pretty good. Kevin Mattel had 104 and a touchdown. DeMonte Coxey, probably their best receiver, had 76 yards and a touchdown. But the Argos unfortunately couldn't get the victory. And then the Elks, I mean, they had themselves the best game of their season thus far. Trey Ford only missing on 2 passes as he went 15 for 17, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That's really good. And that wasn't even the story of the game. The story of the game was Justin Rankin. 12 carries for 105 yards and a touchdown, including an extra 69 nice yards receiving and a touchdown. So a really, really good day for Justin Rankin. If there was any questions about the Elks after this game, it's that the Cody Vajardo coming into the ball game at the end of the third quarter for one drive was a little bit strange, but I think that would have been more of a headline if the Elks would have lost this game. But they did get the win, and let's see if they can keep it going against the Lions this weekend. As we move on to the BC Lions, and I said a win is a win. Like, you got the win against Montreal. It wasn't pretty at times. Nathan Rourke did throw for over 300 yards, though he did have an interception. They got into field goal range. Yeah, you could argue, did the clock start on time? But Montreal probably shouldn't have taken that bad penalty. I think on the kickoff. But they got into field goal range, and Sean Whyte, nailed the game-winning field goal. I still think they need to get that running game going a little bit. Nathan Rourke was the leading rusher at 43 yards. James Butler only had 41. So, yeah, will that run game get going kind of like it did in 2022? We'll see. The next tier we have, this could get interesting. Montreal Alouettes and the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Two teams are kind of moving in different directions right now. Montreal, they're coming off back-to-back losses. Hamilton is coming off back-to-back wins. And for Montreal, they're just waiting until Davis Alexander gets back, hopefully after their bye week. And Hamilton, their offense is just exploding. It's just amazing right now between Bo Levi Mitchell and Kenny Lawler. That connection has been brilliant. It's like video game numbers that they're putting up together. And the top spot in the East Division is all of a sudden up for grabs after, the first few weeks here thinking Montreal would just run away with the East Division. Not so fast. The Hamilton Tiger Cats are on a roll right now and are looking to take the number one spot in the East. The next tier, we have the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and I put bye started a bit early. They went into Calgary last Thursday, and oh boy, they struggled. I mean, the first drive it wasn't too bad as I was talking about yesterday. They ran the ball well with Brady Oliveira, but the pick sixes for Zach Collaros that he threw were just backbreakers. 15-3 that for that Damon Webb interception. That was a score after that pick six, and it just never got going from there. Calgary kept everything in front of them, and Winnipeg just, flat out lost this game. They're hoping to bounce back after their bye week, and they're at home. So maybe it's home sweet cooking for Winnipeg against the Calgary Stampeders once again. So we'll see what they can do after the bye week. And speaking about the Stampeders, they take the second spot in the tiers at, are they back? Are the Calgary Stampeders back after 2 years of losing records? Are they just back? Did they just need to make a quarterback change in Vernon Adams Jr.? Hey, maybe so, but you got to give a lot of credit to that defense. It has been brilliant through the first few weeks of the season with Bob Slowick as their defensive coordinator. As I said, keeping everything in front of them, not allowing any deep balls. I think they've only allowed one so far this year. I think that came against Toronto. I think that was that DeMonte Coxey touchdown. But outside of that, brilliant points per game allowed. I think they're at 20 points per game. So really good defense, and their offense is doing really good. I mean, better than last year is what I'm trying to say. So, and Malik Henry, hey, he could possibly be coming back. So a nice boost in that receiving core with all the injuries that they've been dealing with early in the season. And at the top of the tiers, yeah, we have the Saskatchewan Roughriders, a new team at the top. And I just put it very simple, riding high. They come off a bye week, undefeated 4-0, and now they have a Friday night football game against the Calgary Stampeders. Could be the game of the week, and the top spot in the West, that's up for grabs. So this is going to be a really intriguing football game as we jump right into our predictions for week 6. No Thursday night football game this week as we jump right to Friday, as we do have this game, the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Calgary Stampeders in Regina. The crowd's going to be rocking, and the key to this game will be that running game. AJ Ouellette last week with Trevor Harris out, Jake Maier filling in. He had himself a big day. Jake Maier didn't have to do much. And, Dedrick Mills has been also really, really good. I think they're the top two rushers in the Canadian Football League. But yeah, that's going to be a big key in this one. Who can stop the run early? Who can force them to start passing the ball? Trevor Harris is a guy who really takes care of the ball. Had some turnovers against Toronto, so he's trying to fix that and trying to be that efficient, not turn the ball over. And so with VA, I mean, he can have problems with interception sometimes. Didn't have any problems against Winnipeg, but now you get to a defense that likes to take the ball away. So we're going to have to see what happens in this game. As for my prediction, oh man, this is really, really tough. I am going to roll with that Calgary Stampeders. Yeah, call me biased. I don't care. I'm going with the Calgary Stampeders to take the top spot in the West Division. 4.5 point dogs in this one. That's huge. I mean, that's really a big number, especially for a team that is 3-1. But this is a part of their test, their 3-4 game stretch. This is going to be the test. I mean, Saskatchewan tomorrow, and then you have Winnipeg in Winnipeg next week, and a return home to face the Alouettes. So it will not be easy. Let's see if Calgary can, pass another test here against the Saskatchewan Roughriders as we move on to Saturday. We have the Ottawa Redblacks and the Hamilton Tiger Cats in Hamilton. And Ottawa, they're trying to get a win here. I mean, you don't want to fall too far behind the 8 ball. And Hamilton, oof, their offense has been tremendous early in the year. This is a bad spot for Ottawa to be in. I mean, their defense is really struggling. I'm going to go here with Hamilton. I do think it will be a closer game than a lot of people may predict here. But I'm going to go Hamilton getting the victory and taking the top spot in the East Division. And then finally, we close it out on Sunday with the BC Lions and Edmonton Elks in Edmonton. Back-to-back home games for the Elks. Can they keep the winning ways going, or at least the 1-game winning streak going? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say BC is going to come into Edmonton and win this game. I just want to see it with the Elks. I want to see, can they keep this running game going with Justin Rankin, the efficiency by Trey Ford, not going to Cody Fajardo, halfway through the third quarter. I just want to see, can they keep it up? I hope they prove me wrong this week. But I'm going to take BC and Nathan Rourke to get the job done against the Edmonton Elks. But that will do it for this edition of CFL Tiers after week 5. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you back here next week to break down the Calgary Stampeders game and to do the after week 6 edition of the Tiers. Until then, have a great day. Peace.